Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Today I am here for a romance reading update for Valentine's Day. The first romance book I am currently reading, is For the Record by Emma Lord. This is by the same author as Tweet Cute. And another book I have read by her recently is called Begin Again. Once the most notorious rivals in the music scene, pop princess Mackenzie Waters and punk rock star Sam Blaze electrified audiences as their bands clashed on stage. But behind the scenes, their simmering tension grew into something more, until suddenly both bands fell apart and the idea of Mackenzie and Sam did too. 2 years later, Sam wanted to trade the rock star life for quiet life, raising the son he didn't know about. Meanwhile, Mackenzie is dealing with a post-operative change in her voice by singing under a pseudonym. The only way to revive their public careers, a joint comeback album. With fans over the moon and the futures on the line, Sam and Mackenzie face the biggest challenge yet, giving up their old rivalry and leaving to work together. But as old sparks fly and new secrets emerge, they set off a chain reaction neither of them anticipated. One that proves that sometimes the greatest hits are the ones yet to be written. I'm really enjoying this so far. As I said, this is my second book by Emma Lord after Begin Again, which I read last year or the year before and gave 4 stars to. Right now, I am currently on chapter 13, page 162. The next book I am reading is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams, book 4 in the Rome, Kentucky series. Sorry, I'm a little tired. A homecoming to Rome, Kentucky sparks this new romance and lots of drama between 2 old family friends. For the New York Times best-selling author of When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect, and Beg, Borrow, or Steal, Madison Walker left Rome, Kentucky, determined to make it in the culinary world. But after years of chasing success in New York, all she has to show for it is her shattered confidence and a desperate need for a fresh start. Coming home isn't part of the plan until an unexpected job offer lands in her lap, the head chef position at a new farm-to-table restaurant in her hometown. The only catch. It comes from James Huxley, owner of Huxley Farm, her brother's best friend. James always played it safe, keeping his head down running the family business. But when Madison's happiness is on the line, he's willing to take up his estranged brother's offer to help launch a restaurant. James has loved her quietly for years, knowing she's never seen him as more than an annoyance, but now that she's back, he's determined to change that. Madison and James are tasked with launching the dreamy restaurant in a record timing. But keeping things strictly professional soon becomes impossible, and the town can't help but meddle in a relationship. As opening night looms, Madison's fears threaten to hold her back. When an unexpected disaster collides with a long-simmering sibling feud, both Madison and James will have to face their biggest insecurities and decide if love is worth the risk or if some dreams are safer left untouched. So, I made another video where I reported progress on this book a couple of days ago. Since then, I have progressed farther along, and I am about 70% done. I am on chapter 20, page 269. So this series is put on the Friends and Gilmore Girls TBR because Rome, Kentucky is very similar to Stars Hollow, and last year when Sarah Adams was in Portland promoting Big Bar or Steel, I asked her if she was inspired by characters from Friends or Gilmore Girls to write her books, because I noticed some characters have similar personalities, and she said yes. And by the way, she was one of the sweetest people that I have ever met. So I'm really sad to see this series end, and I'm probably going to reread the whole series again within the next week as soon as I finish reading this. Now, where do I see similarities between these characters and characters from Friends or Gilmore Girls? Well, Monica and Suki are both chefs, but I feel like this relationship is more similar to Suki and Jackson because Suki's a chef, and in the first 2 seasons of Gilmore Girls, Jackson is the produce manager for the Independence Inn, so that's where the farm to table aspect comes in. And so I have a hard time believing in this relationship because there seems to be, from where I am right now, and maybe things will get better in the remaining chapters, but I haven't really seen a lot of romantic spark between Madison and James, kind of like I was with Jackson and Suki. Like, my unpopular Gilmore Girls opinion is that Jackson and Suki rushed into their relationship during the basket bidding episode, and they should have taken more time to get to know each other. And he's not the nicest person. I haven't decided what I'm going to give this book for a rating yet, but I'm going to give a full wrap-up of this series in the video that Matt and I do, because Matt and I are reading this with Kathleen for the Friends and Gilmore Girls TBR. So we will wrap up all 3 of our thoughts on this book in this series in our March-April wrap-up video that is out on April 25th. The next book I'm reading is the next romance book I'm currently reading is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. This book focuses on Maddie and Theo, who are in the bridal party of their friend's wedding. When an oops, we made a mistake night together, neither one can stop thinking about the other. With Alexa's wedding rapidly approaching, Maddie and Theo both share bridal party responsibilities and that require interactions with each other. They're comfortable with. Underneath the sharp barbs they toss at each other in a simmering attraction that won't fade. It builds until they find themselves sneaking off together to release some tension when Alexa isn't looking, agreeing they'll end it once the wedding is over. When the wedding date is suddenly pushed up and they have a few months left of secret rendezvous, they find themselves disappointed that the end is near. 2 people, this difference can't possibly have a connection until that is purely physical, right? Just as any engagement with a nemesis there are unspoken rules that must be abided by. First and foremost, don't fall in love. Currently I am on page 263, chapter 18, and I am hoping to finish this book tomorrow or Monday. So I selected this book for the Friends and Gilmore Girls TBR to go along with the one with Ross's wedding, where Monica and Chandler hook up during Ross and Emily's wedding and then have to hide their relationship from the rest of their friends. That leads up to the episode, the one where everybody finds out, which is one of my favorite episodes. The next romance book I am currently reading is called Just for the Cameras. This is Megan Quinn's new release that came out on February 3rd. It focuses on Graydon St. John, who is a defensive end for the San Francisco Foghorns. He prefers silence and solitude, avoiding headlines, but when a sports-wide PR scandal forces him into a media stunt at the city's zoo, he's suddenly face-to-face with squawking birds, noisy fans, and a zookeeper who seems to hate his guts on sight. Maple Baker loves her flamingos. Loud, pink, messy. Sure, but they're hers, and the best thing she needs is a grumpy football... the last thing she needs is a grumpy football player stomping into her sanctuary with a bad attitude and a bigger ego. Unfortunately, they've been paired for the zoo's new public outreach program, and the cameras are already rolling. The banter is sharp, the tension is electric, and the more they pretend to play nice for the press, the more their flake flirtations start to feel like something dangerously real. But when family secrets, viral fame, and a PR romance goes off script, threatens everything Maple's worked hard for, Graydon must decide if he's willing to fight for love or let it slip away to protect her. From best-selling author Megan Quinn comes a sizzling sports romance full of flamingo feathers, slowbird heat, and Run Grump meets Sunshine love story that's anything but fake. So, in a way, Maple's character reminds me of Ross because she has animal companions in her flamingos, and he has Marcel the monkey. I have really liked the buildup of Maple and Graydon's romance so far, and I'm really enjoying this book. I still have quite a bit to go. One thing that is not so good about these books is that they're super long. I feel like these romances take a lot of time to build up, but once the buildup is there and the initial meet cute happens and everything like that, the book can probably be about 150 pages shorter. I am on page 308, and there are 577 pages, so I'm not even like a quarter of the way through this yet. I'm gonna probably finish this in the next 2 weeks because it's taking so long. The next long book that I'm reading is not quite as long as Just for the Cameras, but still pretty long. So this book was recommended to me by Sarah Caroli. I cannot remember when she read it. It was a couple of years ago, but I don't remember exactly when. So I thank her for this recommendation. This is called Pack Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins, and it's about a woman named Lauren and her relationship with her husband, Joshua, and she gets diagnosed with a terminal illness. So a majority of this book is Lauren writing letters to Joshua that he finds after she passes away. Um, Joshua and Lauren are the perfect couple. Newly married, they're wildly in love, each on a successful, rewarding career path. Then Lauren is diagnosed with a terminal illness. As Lauren's disease progresses, Joshua struggles to make the most of the time he has left with his wife, and to come to terms with his future. A future without the only woman he's ever loved. He's so consumed with finding a way to avoid the inevitable ending that he never imagines his life after Lauren. But Lauren has a plan to keep her husband moving forward. A plan hidden in the letters she leaves him. In those letters, one for every month in a year after her death, Lauren leads Joshua on a journey through the pain, anger, and denial. It's a journey that will take Joshua for his attempt at a dinner party for family and friends, to getting rid of their bed, from a visit with a psychic medium, to a kiss with a woman who isn't Lauren. His grief makes room for laughter and new relationships. Joshua learns Lauren's most valuable lesson. The path to happiness doesn't follow a straight line. Sometimes heartbreaking, often funny, and always uplifting. This novel from New York Times best-selling author Kristen Higgins illuminates life's greatest joys are often hidden in plain sight. Grief seems to be a common theme in books that I have read recently. Another 3 books that I have read that have dealt with grief are Blue Sisters by Coco Mellars, The Bookshop Sisterhood by Michelle Lindo Rice, and The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Evans. So in Pack Up the Moon, I am on chapter 20, page 222. And how this book connects to Friends and Gilmore Girls. So I actually found this book on a list for recommendations I found on the online when I Googled books that describe Lily and Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. And I just watched a video on YouTube recently about how How I Met Your Mother is basically a ripoff of Friends. And believe me, even when I was watching How I Met Your Mother when it was first released in 2014, I definitely realized a lot of similarities to Friends. I was just as angry with that finale as I was with the Friends finale, because How I Met Your Mother is basically Ted, the main guy character who is similar to Ross, telling his kids about how they met their mother. And the mother character, whose name is Tracy, it's revealed, this is a spoiler in case you have not ever watched How I Met Your Mother, but if you have, then you'll know that Tracy dies. And basically, in the finale episode, Ted is proposing to Robin, who is the character in How I Met Your Mother that is similar to Rachel. So, which characters in Friends are similar to How I Met Your Mother characters? Ted is Ross, Marshall is Chandler, Lily is Monica, Barney is Joey, Ted is, wait, did I forget anybody? Oh, I can't think of a character in How I Met Your Mother that is similar to Phoebe, but I think I covered everybody else. I'm also reading a nonfiction book that was written by the creator of How I Met Your Mother about, that focuses on a family who is making a movie about their son with autism, or not autism, Down syndrome. And this book is called That's Not How It Happened. I originally started to read this book by starting to listen to the audiobook, but then I ran out of time to listen to the audiobook on the Cloud Library app. So I picked up the physical book at the library the other day, which I don't have with me. It's in the other room. So I talk a lot in these videos about how I think characters and friends in Gilmore Girls have neurodivergent traits. I did a whole video about that in July during Disability Awareness Month. I also saw a post on Instagram a couple of months ago about characters from other TV shows that might be neurodivergent or have autism, and Robin from How I Met Your Mother was actually on that list. She was played by Kobe Smulders, who does the chapters for the wife Paige in the audiobook for That's Not How It Happened, and then Josh Radnor, who played Ted Mosby, does the narration for the chapters of Rob. So this book is going to make me cry by the end of it, but I'm really happy that I'm reading other books that will make me smile to counteract the sadness that this book will leave me with. And I'm also rereading Friends, Lovers, and a Big Terrible Thing, Matthew Perry's memoir. So my next reading update video will be out on Monday, where I talk about books that are on my general TBR. And as far as upcoming videos, I just wanted to make a quick announcement because I am going to be writing a play for the Port Fringe Festival in June. I sent my proposal for my script to the people at the festival at the end of January. I heard back last week that I've been accepted. I'm starting writing on my script. So if videos are delayed, it's because I'm busy writing my script, and that's my main focus right now. So I'm still going to be reading, but anticipate that video posting dates may be delayed because I am working on my script. Needs to be my main focus, and YouTube kind of needs to take a back seat for the next couple of months. Videos will still be coming out, but they may be coming out every 2 weeks from now on, or even every 3 weeks, because I need to also allow myself more time to finish reading all of these books and take all my notes down. So please be patient with me, because I'm very excited about this new journey I'm going on with writing the play for Port Fringe, and can't wait to put it on for you. My play is going to be called More Than Me, and I'm going to be going into detail about my disabilities and the challenges I have overcome, and also encouraging people who are in the audience to get involved in supporting rights for disability awareness, especially since in the current presidential administration, DEI stuff has been taken away, which has been really frustrating for everybody who has disabilities. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.